few minutes out to meet Owen O'Malley, who will share with you his story on how he gained financial freedom trading shares on the U.S. stock market.
My story is I just came in, I was an ordinary Joe, just did the usual thing. You go to school, you pass your exams, you get into third level education, you qualify, and then you go and get a job. And my job was salmon farming, basically husbandry, growing salmon from baby little fry right the way to the ready for the table. And after 12 years of doing that, I realized that I was never going to get ahead financially because I was working for somebody else. I was part of their plan. I didn't have my own plan in life. So I was motivated to take a look at, are there other ways to become financially free? And I studied business. And one of the things that I noticed about business is that it had a very high failure rate. It is the fact that 95% of businesses fail after 10 years. In fact, it's as high as 96% of businesses fail after 10 years. So there's a very high failure rate when it comes to traditional businesses. And I knew I wanted to be in business for myself, but I didn't want to be something that had such a high failure rate. So if anybody's listening to the recording here today and you're in business for yourself and you're struggling, we know exactly how you feel, and what we can share with you can help you look at things a little bit differently. So I was blessed to not actually go into business for myself. I was blessed to come across the stock market as a vehicle to be able to become financially free and to buy shares in the best companies in the world, run by the best people in the world, and leverage their expertise and their knowledge to help money work for me. And so purely part-time, alongside my day job, I got myself to a situation after 2 years that I was making more money from the stock market part-time than I was from my highly paid company car pension job, as it were. So I was able to free myself from that rut, if you like. And so that's what motivates me, James. That's what excited me, that I know in my heart and soul that everybody can go from that journey of starting part-time, eventually becoming full-time, and to be completely free from the rat race of society. So if anybody's out there that's sick and tired of being sick and tired of working hard, not making ends meet, too much month at the end of the money, which I personally experienced when I was working, this is something that they might want to take a close look at. The Concept Investment Club was sown at the Tony Robbins Wealth Mastery Program because we had on stage a group of grannies from a small town in America called Beerstown who have become very famous because they consistently were doing 30% per annum. And they said to us, when you go home, get yourself into some sort of a group that meets at least once a month to discuss wealth accumulation as opposed to just regular stuff that we do, meaning we just spend money, we don't accumulate wealth. So they said that, form an investment club. And so that stuck with me. And after I had managed to make myself financially free, the next step for me was to share this with others. But they started to ask me, they thought I was crazy. Why are you giving up a safe, secure, pensionable job, company car, highly paid executive of a multinational company called Norsk Hydro? Why am I throwing that all away? That was a perception. And I said, well, I found a way to make money a different way with less hours, less stress. And so why don't I show you how it works? So we decided back then to set up an investment club. This was even before the Euro, James. This is 55 of the Irish punts per person per month went into an investment club. We met once a month to make collective decisions on how to pick strong companies that were very good value for money and then how to rent them. So one club, James, became 10 clubs became 100 clubs became over 1,000 clubs. One country became 52 countries, and we now teach in 15 different languages. So in the early days, 20 years ago, when we started to build investment clubs, we had no clue about how IMA works and how people have different communication styles and how they would interact with each other, and more importantly, how they would interact with the stock market, because the stock market is like another person. Mr. Market, as Warren Buffett calls about it. And the market goes through moods as well. So the beauty about the IMA system that we came across is that people could very quickly, with literally 10 clicks of a mouse, answer 10 quick questions. They could figure out, well, what is their primary communication style and how they're going to interact with, get along with and build rapport with, or not build rapport with their fellow club members, and how they were going to react with the market. So it's crucial that people would take a look at IMA before they would do this, take a look at the stock market, because they're 50% of the planet, as you know, are risk averse. Left to their own devices, they probably would never invest in the stock market because it's just against their natural grain as a human being. Whereas if they're in an investment club, they're part of a system which has 50% risk averse people, 50% of people who love the thrill of the risk. And the combination of the two makes sure that better decisions are made in the investment club. So IMA is a very, very powerful system